welcome back. Well, Broken Hill is as iconic a name in mining circles as Kalgoorlie, and not just mining. Could be our most famous outback brand, but it's getting a new image, apparently. Joining me to discuss it is the Mayor of Broken Hill, Winston Kai, and the woman behind the, I'm not allowed to call it rebranding, but the new strategy or the new branding, Katrina Burgess, Strategy Director at Frost. Welcome both to the show.
Good evening.
Thank you so much.
Now, Mayor, or can I call you Winston?
You can call me Winston.
Winston.
Or Win, that's fine.
Win?
Yes.
Okay, Win. Can you tell me what brought on this need? You see, I would have thought Broken Hill had a great brand, and you reminded me, you used to be known as the Silver City. That's maybe not that exciting.
Yeah.
But what brought this idea you needed to brand yourself?
Well, we've had many names. Silver City, Broken Hill, the accessible outback. You know, we're well renowned for mining, BHP, union movement. So we've had all this branding there before, but we've never actually been branded. You know, and what we thought we'd need, is to go away and really see what people think of us, and put that into perspective, undertake some research, and make sure that what we thought we were, we really are. And what came out of it was Broken Hill.
Broken Hill. As in, but I just worry that this is a bit like, you know, we saw tourism campaigns. Everybody has to have a moniker, you know, and you don't really think of it. What did you hope to achieve by having, I don't know, Broken Hill, whatever you're going to put on it? We'll get to that.
But Broken Hill, what we hoped to achieve was to have an understanding of what the consumer really wants and really understands, making sure our residents as well, because we as a community need to understand who we are, what we are, and take that to the greater world.
Okay, what did your research show you?
Research showed us that we're an iconic city.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
You did exactly right. That we have great character.
Yeah.
That we very unique. You know, our nearest neighbour is 300 kilometres away. So our isolation is one of our greatest attributes. It's actually developed us through the 128 years we've been in existence. We've been a mining community for 128 years of continual mining.
So basically, so far, you're not telling us anything we didn't know, right?
Exactly
What is
right.
it that you did? What's the end result then of what you've got? It confirmed what you thought.
Yeah.
Now what do you do with it?
Well, we take it out to the broader community. We actually tell the community, we tell the community who we are. They already understand that. But then we take it out to the broader public and give ourselves that identity, that rich character. And we can actually now go out there with the surety that we are who we are. We're going to brand it to the rest of Australia and the world. Come and visit this most unique, isolated, iconic Australian town, and you're going to say, none of that's new. It's not new, but we needed to make sure that what we thought we were, that we've actually
that you were heading in the right direction.
We're heading in the right direction. Now that we have the confidence to who we are, where we're going to, we'll now take that brand and extend it and broaden it.
Okay, Katrina, now you've done a lot of this, and as we know, it's not rebranding because you didn't actually have a branding, but this kind of work for corporates, I think CBA, the Sydney Opera House, people like, so you've done iconic people, figures, places before. I can understand from your point of view, this is a great challenge, but what was different about Broken Hill to maybe some of the others you've done?
Look, I think people really underestimate Broken Hill. Like for me, the first time when I flew in on the plane and arrived in Broken Hill, I was just so astounded with what the place was. Like I had as many misconceptions as anybody else that it's kind of, you know, out the back and it's just a remote place. It is, but what I found was that it's this place that has a lot to show us, and that a lot of Sydney's history is based on Broken Hill's affluence, and you know that the people there actually have something to share, not just with the rest of Australia, but with the world. There's a big story that's coming out of Broken Hill.
But it's what I just asked Winston. I mean, I just see these things, you know, I don't know, Melbourne, I wouldn't have a clue what their tag is. Adelaide, the what city, Perth, the what city. Do people actually pay attention to those tags?
Look, I don't think it's just about a tagline. I think what it really was with Broken Hill was getting to the very heart and soul about what that place is about. And one of the things that we try and do is move brands from top of mind to top of heart, because what you're trying to do is really create a strong emotional connection for people with that place. And so rather than talking about all the features that are there, that's part of the outback, talk about the great experiences you can have, talk about the amazing people that are there, and talk about what Broken Hill stands for.
It's basically a marketing exercise, isn't it, when you come down to it? Now, Winston, I had Kerry Stevenson from the Symposium on here a couple of weeks ago. She'd done a big mining conference, the first one in Broken Hill. We talked about comparing it to the Diggers and Dealers, Kalgoorlie. another iconic mining town. They've embraced their mining heritage and their drinking heritage. I want to say, I said to Kerry, do they have as many pubs? She said, oh, there's more art galleries than pubs in Broken Hill now. She said it like it was a good thing.
Well, it's exactly right. I mean, the problem, if we have a problem with that, we actually have more art galleries than we have pubs in Broken Hill. And can I say that the old diggers that from many years ago roll over in their grave, they knew that.
But you see, I think that's part of your problem personally, because Kalgoorlie has that, you know, mining frontier town image. You became sort of the pro-heart town and you had these art galleries, so did that kind of dilute the image of the outback mining? I mean, was there too many mixed messages perhaps, or are you going to embrace them all?
We're going to embrace them all. I mean, it's about taking the small city, because we are a small city. Broken Hill is a small city.
20,000 classes
20,000 classes a small city. We actually have been...
It's not a big country town.
We're not a big country town, we're a small city.
Okay.
And that sophistication that we can take from that raw essence of a community, isolated community, that raw essence that we've grown up on for the last, say, 100, 115 years, and we've taken it now to another step where Broken Hill can actually satisfy the needs of the visitor to come out there and experience a raw outback community, but still have that sophistication, have that little bit of art, Art Deco as well.
So when you're doing this branding exercise, Katrina, what would give us a couple of the key points? As I say, I would have thought mining, the art galleries, they're two very different images, as Winston just said. Any other surprises you found that you'll be focusing on?
The landscape itself is remarkable. Like, you just can't get any appreciation of what that landscape is like until you've been there. But the experience is like, I went down an old silver mine, and you go down, and at one point, you know, you're down there and this guy blows out the one candle that you've got and you're in the dark, and suddenly you really realise what life was like for these people when they were down mines, where they were mining by hand. And
except we're going back to it now, aren't we?
Well,
mining's now, you know, after what happened. So can you give us a hint what it's going to be? Is there going to be a tagline? Can you unveil anything of what we're going to see for the new Broken Hill?
Well, the brand will be basically Broken Hill. So, you know...
So there won't be a tagline, Broken Hill?
Well,
there won't be a Silver City version?
There will be some sort of tagline, but at this point in time, it's still on the...
When are we going to unveil it?
We'll be unveiling that probably in the next 4 weeks.
Okay. So not even a hint? Is it going to surprise us? Is it going to be mining art galleries, outback? Is it going to be along the lines of what we talked about?
Well, it's along those lines, because it's going to be what we believe we're all about.
Okay. Now, the aim is presumably to get tourists there.
Tourists,
investment
not
as well.
only tourists, but we're talking about relocation as well. I mean, we talk about the tree change, but you know, getting people to Broken Hill, and that's
you don't have trees.
We do have trees, only one or two.
Okay, well, we've got to think up a word for tree changing in the outback.
It's actually
sand change.
A great change. Right. Because you're coming to a community...
So you want retirees?
We want anybody, because we're about to embark again on a mining boom.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We hear that we can't get enough labour, that the mines can't. Have you got the same problem there?
Well, we're just embarking on that exercise now. We've got a new mine, CBH, are opening up the Ras mine. They're looking to employ 250 guys.
So you've got to get them in, or it'll be fly in, fly out like everywhere else,
we actually have the infrastructure for 30,000 people. So we're a little bit different to every other community. We have the infrastructure for 30,000 people. They once lived there, so they can actually go back there again.
I was talking to our Queensland correspondent, the Courier Mail's James McCulloch, this week about it. There are towns in Queensland which are perfectly near, not as remote as you, and yet it's just now become accepted on mines. It's fly in, fly out. It sounds like, as Mayor, you'd be wanting to push for people to move there rather than have the mines just do this.
We do. We want a settled community. That's where we've existed for 128 years, as a settled, stable community. And I think people get sick of flying in and out. You know, and what we want to do is promote ourselves as a vibrant, small city. You know, we over the last, from 4 years ago until probably late this year, we'll spend $10 million on our aquatic centre. So we can actually bring people to our aquatic centre.
I wouldn't have thought of that as an aquatic centre. I've got to ask you, given mining and everything's interesting this week, because one of the things you're trying to get investment in is sustainable energy, alternative to mines. Carbon tax. Got any views on that this week?
Carbon tax is magnificent this week. because we have a Silverton wind farm. A $2.5 billion exercise that has been sitting on the back burner for probably about 18 months, 2 years now. Quite obviously the debate that's carrying on in Canberra, and I suppose all around Australia, has actually now brought that to the forefront again. So that now is something we can actually look at and hopefully take to the next point.
So again, it's the mix of the old and the new, the
Yes.
old mine, the original Broken Hill,
That's correct.
whatever, and yet now you're going for sustainable. But the mines won't like if you say the carbon tax is good, will they?
Well, I'm
Doesn't
saying...
make the image of a Broken Hill mayor,
I
does it?
I think
I don't think the Kalgoorlie mayor's allowed to say
I
that.
think I worded it well. It's good this week.
It's good this week,
Yes.
right. Yeah, are you in competition with somewhere like Kalgoorlie? Because if people are going to go to an outback mining town, is that the kind of place they look at as well?
I think you've got Kalgoorlie, you've got Main Isa, you've got the Pilbara. What the attraction I believe we have is that we're a stable community. We have the infrastructure for 30,000 people to reside there. I've lived there all my life, you know. As I was saying before, my great-grandfather was born 10 years before Broken Hill was founded on Mount Gipp Station. So I have a long history in this community. And can I say, the diggers fought very, very hard for the rights that we actually have in the union movements now.
Terrific. Now, Katrina, he's not giving much away. Can you promise us it won't involve Paul Hogan? Where the bloody hell are you? Any of those cringeworthy ones that people have done so badly to promote Australian icons in recent years?
No, it won't. I think, look, people are looking for authenticity.
No Akubras, no dryers of bones.
No.
Good.
I think
this will be an innovation.
Well, I think what we found is that what people are looking for now is much more authentic places. Like a lot of us are dealing with a world that's out of control in terms of all the artificiality that surrounds us. And so Broken Hill...
we're not going to have a mining theme park. We're not going to be the Disneyland of the outback.
No.
But I mean, Broken Hill, what's so wonderful about it is that you really do get down to earth when you go back out there. You feel a sense of connection with the land, you feel a sense of connection with other people. And so for me as a Sydney-sider, like the first time I went there, I went, well, why am I going to Melbourne rather than going to Broken Hill?
We're going to focus on other artists other than Pro Hart. He kind of overtook it there for a while, I think, didn't he?
Well, Pro's an icon, lived in the community,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
all of his life. But we have the brush from the bush, you know, quite obviously.
But you've got to move on.
We do move on. Well, the big picture is the largest single canvas painting anywhere in the world. It's 100 metres in circumference. It's 12 metres high and has 9 tonne of paint. Can you believe it?
See, now I thought you had a hard job, but he's doing such a good job. Now, we've got to hear, you've got to tell us what it's like. I'll be looking forward to seeing the new Broken Hill. Katrina from Frost, with an asterisk, that's what threw me, who'll be doing the branding strategy, and the Mayor of Broken Hill, Winston Kai.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
so
for
much.
joining us. That's all we have time for tonight. I look forward to your company tomorrow night.